Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Jeff at Geek Driven, and we are here for another episode of Cover Lovers. And look who we've got on my left, right?
Clone Force 99. We're all here being crazy. I can't believe it's going to be July tomorrow. How in the world did that happen? That's insane.
Halfway through the year.
But it's the July of July. Man, I realized last week we did the show and I talked about nothing that I had done 2 weeks ago. I went to Heroes Con. I had the greatest freaking time. Man, I love that show. I used to go to all kinds of cons and they're good. There's some good ones. I've never been to San Diego, but I've been to all the other big ones for the most part. I don't think I've ever been to C2E2 now that I think about it. That wasn't big until recently, I feel like. Right. I don't know why.
No, it was like a pretty small, even less than medium.
Yeah, but I had been to Atlanta and Baltimore and I mean New York, all kinds of other ones, but I'd never been to San Diego. But Heroes is so much different and cooler. So much different and cooler. I had to mute and yell at my children for a second. There's so many artists there, so many artists, and it changes every year, so that's why I love it most. Guys, you said
from what I understand, Heroes Con is basically artists and celebrities. And it's like more signings and stuff like that. So it's a more meet and greet kind of a con.
Yep.
From what I understood, Heroes Con used to be.
It is, and honestly, I only walked away with one comic book. I mean, there's a ton of dealers there. Don't get me wrong. I could have spent $3 million on comics. There was so much golden age there. It was ridiculous. But
wow.
But things I'd never seen before. But the artists, I mean, I could spend 2 weeks and not meet everybody and talk to them the way I want to. So I make a list of about 20 people that I want to see. And I spend a pretty good amount of time at about 10 to 12 of those. And I usually ask about 5 or 6 of them for some sort of commission or sketch or remark, or I'll buy something out of their binder. Like I did. I mean, I got great stuff this time. I got great Adam Hughes stuff.
Oh,
I'm so sorry, guys. I need to say.
The insane asylum is running it. It's being ran by the inmates.
Good Lord. I'm so sorry, folks. Just absolute insanity. Anyway, so I mean, just great stuff at Adam Hughes. I talked to Adam Hughes for a while. Everyone always says these horror stories about talking to Adam Hughes. Oh, he's always grumpy. No, he's not. Every time I've talked to him, he's been super, super nice. People said the same thing about Neil Adams, and I have never had anything. I had never had anything but great conversations with Neil. R.I.P. But the J.G. Jones, my God, the J.G. Jones. I have to tell this story. I'm sorry to eat up podcasts with this, but
that's fine.
J.G. Jones. He was sort of out of the game for a little while, some health issues, that kind of thing. He popped back up, last year, a couple of years ago, with some art, and this was the first con that I've been able to meet him at. I'm like, I have to see J.G. Jones. Love his stuff. Loved his covers. His what were those final what? What was that series? Oh man, I can't remember the name of him now. Final something. I don't remember. And then, of course, some great Wonder Woman covers right after Adam Hughes was done. And I'm like, man, but I've spent so much money over the first 2 days. I'll just have him do a remark. And his remarks were $50. Like $50, no problem. I'll have him do a little remark for me. It'll be great. But all I had left was a Red Sonja blank. So I'm like, I know it's a blank. I just pick a spot. I don't care. Pick a spot, do a remark. It's just great to meet you. We talked for man, I got there. I was the first one at his table on Sunday morning, and we're talking, and we're going, just talking about all kinds of things, music and traveling and all kinds of things. And then he sees the blank, and he's like, "Okay, remark. That sounds great." And his handler comes over and says, "How many monies am I taking from you today?" I said, 50 monies for a remark. Then he sits down, he starts drawing it, and he's doing it. pencil, a little bit of pencil, and my buddy comes over, and we're all talking to JG. He's talking, he's sketching, and I turn to my buddy for a little while. I turn back, and he's inking it. Right, he's like doing some ink over the top, and I'm like, oh, that's sweet. It's going to do like a little bit more. It's not just going to be this little pencil thing. It's getting kind of detailed. It's just a face and the hair, and I'm like, well, it'll like the little chain nail, but what are you going to do? I turn back, I'm talking to my buddy. My buddy's talking to JG, the whole thing. My buddy taps me on the shoulder, gives me a little head nod. I look back at the table. Now JG he's drawn the chainmail, and he's got his paint out now, and he's his watercolors, and he's painting for a $50 remark. I'm like, what is happening? I'm like, I don't want to say anything. I want to say something because I want to just remind him that I only paid for a remark, but I can't. I don't want to stop him. I don't want to. Whatever this is going to be, I want it. So he's just going. We're all talking. It's great. It's close to an hour now, and he starts putting finishing touches on it. I was at his table for an hour and 15 minutes for a $50 remark, and this thing is gorgeous. I posted it on my my Instagram if anybody wants to see it. Even his handler came over and was like, JG, that is one hell of a remark. I'll tell you one thing. I always say Joseph Michael Linsner is the nicest guy in comics. J.D. Jones may be tied for the nicest guy in comics. But I'll tell you what. One hell of a conversation. What a great guy. Not only was he obviously generous with his time and his art with me, but he was funny and just engaging, and he wasn't trying to like push anybody off. He was super nice to everybody who walked up to the table while I was there. I mean, just a great guy. But that's the kind of experience that Heroes Con is. I would never have had that experience had I not gone to this show. So I highly encourage everyone, if you're anywhere near or can afford to go to Charlotte next year, you really should do it. It was a great show. A really great show.
Did that moment give you like nostalgia for like when you were a kid or younger when you went to cons? Because cons were different back in the days.
They were. Dudes would draw for free for you.
Yeah, they draw for free. You can you can stand in front of their booth and have a conversation with them for an hour or two.
Yep.
It was not a big deal. No. There weren't people standing behind you waiting in line.
No, and if people came up to get stuff signed, he would pause on my art, sign their stuff, talk to them for a few seconds, and when they left, he would re-engage with me and get back to the thing he was drawing. It was, just great. Like I went up to Wendy Peeney was there to sign ElfQuest and stuff like that. And if you know Wendy Peeney's history, she was Frank Thorne's model for Red Sonja, one of two models for Red Sonja, and she would go to the Red Sonja cons and a lot of the cons with Frank dressed as Red Sonja.
Oh wow!
And basically cosplay as her at the booth all day. And so I have this poster of Frank standing in the middle of Wendy and the other model whose name escapes me at the moment that I got from Frank's daughter. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe you have this poster. And so I had her sign that. She was signing ElfQuest stuff all day, but I had her sign that. And just a blast from her past. But like having that conversation was really fun. I'd never gotten a chance to meet her before. ElfQuest is cool. I mean, I don't have a first. I wish I did, but or I'd have her sign that. But this was cooler in some ways. And I mean, I could tell you 15 or 20 stories like that just from this weekend. I really, really encourage you all to go. A really, really cool experience. Adam Hughes, again, like I said, I got something out of his binder that he had. Like, I feel like he had it mismarked. It was so cheap. It was.
Oh yeah, that one that you showed us with all the multiple remarks.
It's got 4. Those were prelims. Those are cover prelims. 4 of them on one sheet for 2 issues of Black Widow, an issue of Spider-Woman, and an issue of what was supposed to be a Catwoman cover, and then he wanted to try to use it for a Black Widow cover, and it got rejected both times, and now it's going to be a Black Cat cover coming out maybe this week, actually. I'm not really sure. But, I mean, I got that. He did a great he does these things. I love the way he does his things, too. He sets his day out where he's got blocks of time throughout the day where he'll do just signatures and then just sketches. And the sketches are just, they're the profile sketches that he does, but he spends a lot more time on them now because he's raised his price on them a little bit. They used to be $50. Now they're $150, which is still a steal. But he only takes like 5 or 6 of those per slot, and he only has 2 slots per day. So he only does about 10 of those a day. Maybe he squeezes in a dozen on a busy day. But I mean, so for the whole con, he maybe whips out like 30 of those, and that's it. And he did, I don't know why. I'd never asked him to do Red Sonja before. I'd had him do Wonder Woman once, Catwoman once, and Supergirl once, but I never had him do Red Sonja because I always had him draw the things he was famous for, not the things I wanted him to draw. But this time I'm like, no, you're drawing Red Sonja for me, man. And he spent way more time. He used to just whip these things off in like 5 minutes. This time he spent like a good solid 15 or 20 minutes doing this one. So that was cool. So I got that as well. And Jeff DeCall had some great art at his booth that he like pre-prepared for the show. I got 2 of those. I mean, again, like I said, I could tell stories all night. I don't want to eat up the entire podcast with this, but just a really great experience. And it reminds me why I love this hobby so much. So, and the artists are the reason why. And that's why we do this podcast.
Well, it sounds like you had a great time.
I did.
And I'm sure that got the chat all hyped up to go to another con and
I hope so.
Kind of have the same experience. So hopefully all of you do get a chance to just go out and visit and talk to some artists.
Yes. Hughes has done, to my understanding, 5 Red Sonja covers. 2 of them are incentives, I think. One of them was one of those summit books, those San Diego Comic-Con Writer Summit books or whatever. It's like a red cover. He did one of his sketchbooks has Red Sonja on the cover. And I think he's done 1 regular non-expensive cover. So I don't have that retailer summit one. That's the one I'm missing. But
well, that's a little harder to get because they gave that away to them.
Yeah, it's a pricey book. It's the only one I don't have. But yeah, he has drawn her many times, and I've seen him sketch her before as well. So, but yeah, he's done some covers. Oh, he also did the Tarzan Red Sonja cover, but that's like not a great one. She looks like Peg Bundy on that one. That's certainly not his best one.
Well, there's nothing wrong with Peg Bundy, but
no, but
not as Red Sonja, maybe not.
Yeah. But he did that one too, so maybe it's more like 6 or 7. It may even be some more that I don't know, but yeah, he's drawn her before.
Well, all right. Before we get started, let's give a shout out to our sponsors. We've got if you want to get 30 days of unlimited cover price for only 99 cents, you just got to type in the code Nerdvana14. It's a great tool to have. And then if you go to our pals at Bird City Comics, you can get 10% off your purchase by typing the code TNH10. And then, of course, we give a shout out to our resident horseman, Uncle Rudy. You can follow him on IG at SantyRude1. And then you can also follow our resident DJ at Beats by Monster. Give him a shout out and go say hi to all both of them. And then let's get to the chat real quick. Of course, GTK Comics was here first. Thank you for dropping in. And then I believe this is Sarah from the Nearing Nirvana crew. She says, happy Cover Lovers Day to you all. We got BBB Haunted Comics. Thank you for joining in. And, of course, Marilla Tunes is giving everybody the warning that we were going to be late. And then we can give a shout-out to Jonathan Denelko? Or JD. We'll just go to JD. All right. Thank you for stopping in, JD. And then, of course, we got Still Chilling in the house. What's going on? I'm just giving shout outs to everybody who dropped in. Omar V, thank you for dropping in and watching. Then, of course, they call me Bruce 3. Thank you for dropping in, of course. Always a... What happened?
Oh, there's one of those RRPs on eBay. It's $1,300.
Oh yeah, the OA that was on Heritage.
Oh, no, that's the book. That's just the RRP. That's the retail summit Adam Hughes Red Sonja book.
Oh.
It's $1,300, and it's a 9.6. It's not even a 9.8.
That sounds like that. That sounds like that Disney Parks book, the Star Wars book, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's that. Man, I wish I had gotten that.
Yeah, I saw the jock go up for on Heritage. That's crazy.
Oh, that's the other thing too. While I was in the Hughes line, guy comes up and goes and says to everybody in the line, "Hey, look what I just made my last payment on. $25,000 for Edge of Spider-Verse 2 cover."
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh my God. And he showed it to us. Holy crap. And then and then I just saw that jock went for $288,000? Is that what I saw? The Jock Batman bats the Joker cover?
Yeah, the second to last issue.
Yeah,
of that run.
$288,000.
That's crazy.
Holy crap.
You know what? I won't doubt that because of that OA sell, those covers go up.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it in a minute. Now, this one I think was like a private sale through a dealer for the Edge of Spider-Verse for the first the first Spider-Gwen. But
that guy definitely is betting on her.
I don't know that. I just don't know that anyone would know that sold. But obviously, the Jock was a big sale.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yep.
All right, and then we've got Kenneth Bird in the house. What is up? Derek, did I get to you? Probably not. I'm sorry. Well, welcome. Had Hughes ever done it? Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we got to that question. We got Lord of Brooklyn in the house. What's going on? Greetings to you as well. We got a lot of people from the East Coast over on here. So this is awesome. We got Real Fake Comics. What's going on? And we got Miss Laura from Nearing Nirvana. Hi, Laura. Thank you for dropping in. We really appreciate it. Yeah, 288K. Is that not crazy?
That is insanity.
Oh man. It makes you wish you can go back to art school and become a freaking awesome cover, artist.
Seriously, just to reap the rewards of selling your art 10 years down the road. My gosh.
And Chad Cave, thank you for dropping in. Okay, I know we've caught up. I'll periodically go through the chat to highlight it, but for now, you know what? Let's get to it. We have been waiting. You have been waiting. All right, let's see if we can get this going. All right, first incentives. We've got both Greg Lands, both 1 in 25s for two different books. We got Bring on the Bad Guys, Green Goblin #1, and we got the Immortal Thor #25. Mike, please start us off.
Okay, so Greg Land, I say this every time a cover of his pops up. He gets a really bad rep just because of the way that he, has done a lot of his female art. I guess he uses photo reference from like porn, and I've heard all kinds of things. But I mean, he's a really talented guy. I mean, and while I don't like the Bring on the Bad Guys one, I think that's colored really poorly as well as not being drawn great. I do like the Thor. I don't hate it. I'm not. There's some things I don't like about it, but overall, it's pretty good composition. There's not enough separation. I wish there was a little bit more contrast, not so much gray. Although I'm assuming that has something to do with the way he looks in the book, but he could have done something with the background pieces to make stuff pop a little bit more. But I think that's a really good, solid Thor cover. However, it certainly doesn't feel like an incentive to me. It just sort of looks like a really good B cover, which when I think of Greg Land, that's what I think of. I think of really solid A and B covers. I don't usually think incentives. Bring on the Bad Guys. I think it's actually a pretty terrible cover, and I think the colorist has a lot to do with that. But I do like the Immortal Thor. Don't love it. Won't pay any incentive prices for it. But I would, if that were the cover, if that were a regular priced cover on the rack, I might buy that
one. All right. I don't think either one of them is 1 in 25 worthy. These are just basically regular covers, but I do agree because as much as I love Spider-Man and the Goblin, I don't like. This is an homage cover. First of all, I'm pretty sure it's an homage cover. I've seen this millions of times. Maybe not these same two characters, but this is like Iron Man and Doctor Doom
or Thing and
Hulk.
Hulk.
Yeah. So this is very same style.
It looks a little bit like those old Fireside trade paperbacks. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Kind of has that look to it. I wonder if that's what he was aiming for here.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, like, it's okay art. I agree with you that the colorist should have picked better colors or brighter colors, or just it's kind of blah, I guess is how I'm gonna put it today.
Chad, the Spidey cover looks like he drew it with his offhand in the dark. Damn. Oh man, maybe you should be on this show instead of me. I'm off my game. That's way better than what I said.
Oh, I'm glad the chat is chipping in on this, so we don't have to hurt the artists.
The vibes. They know the vibes of this show.
Oh gosh, yeah. And then the Thor's fine. It kind of gives me like a gargoyle-ish kind of vibe in the sense of like it's stone. It feels like it's stone.
Yeah.
So
that's the idea. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that was the whole thing. So I mean, again, they're both just okay. Maybe the Thor is a little bit better, so I'll have to pick the Thor. But
Laura, that's a great comment. I'd marry Ant again if he bought that art.
Wait, who said what?
Laura said that about Ant. If he had bought the $25,000 Spider-Gwen cover, she'd marry Ant again if he bought that. That's why we love you.
Oh, Laura.
My wife would not be happy.
That's freaking hilarious. And you just marry him again if he had it, so you can say, "Oh, it's mine."
Put that in the prenup, baby.
That's awesome. All right, we'll move on to the next couple of covers here. Panosian. All right, I guess we're going with a little theme here. Both by Dan Panosian, both 1 in 20s. We got a Power Rangers Prime number 8 and a Grimm number 23. It's very rare we put a Power Rangers up here, so yeah. I'm glad Alonzo did that. Look, I love Dan. I think so. I love the fact that the Grimm cover is not a typical incentive Grimm cover. I mean, it got old for me on those Grimm covers. I think they were they Frizzens?
They're all Frizzens, yeah.
Yeah. And nothing is Jenny, but you know, it was kind of the same thing over and over almost. Felt too, I don't know, just non-imaginative. And so I can appreciate this cover. But I don't know. There's something drawing me to the Ranger cover, and I don't know why. I think it's just the details of the suit, and kind of dig the power glow flare, lens flare kind of background. But the other cover does have a background at least, so I mean that's more attractive. But I think just for this week, I'm gonna regret this pick. But the Rangers, the Power Rangers. What do you think, Mike?
I don't think you can go wrong. Really, it's Panosian, who by the way was also at Heroes. I tried really hard to get a commission, but his list was full on Saturday, and then he was late to his table on Sunday. So I didn't get a chance to get anything from him other than a signature or two. But another great guy, another great conversation, just so you know. Yeah, Dan has been on fire. I had a great conversation with Josh Middleton about Dan, as a matter of fact, too, just sort of like re-emerging and becoming just uber popular, and how, Josh was really, really happy with him, because Josh did kind of the same thing. I mean, Josh reinvented his style when that Batgirl cover came out, and then just became hot all over again. So these are both good. I actually like the Grimm cover for the same reason that you said, in that it's refreshing to see that it's not one of those frissons. I went up I went up to Jenny at the con and I'm like, hey, how's it going? I don't know if you remember me. So of course I do. I have not been kind to you this year. And she goes, it's okay. Not everything, even I know they're not all great. So she was really, really kind about me kind of giving her art some shit this year. But yeah, those were all, I don't know. They certainly weren't her best work, and this book has the capability of having really cool covers, and I think Dan's a great choice for that. The ink work on that book, that's why I'm drawn to it. The ink work on that Grimm is really excellent, and it's why I like Panosian's work so much. Panosian and Finch are two of my favorites when it comes to inks, and just not being afraid to use lots of black and really getting in there with the ink. So nothing wrong with the Power Rangers Prime. It's a good cover. But I really like the Grimm cover. I think it exhibits all the things that Dan has gotten popular again for.
Yeah, I do really like the background. It's nothing crazy special, but I just like the details and the wear on the broken down whatever castle or wherever she's at.
Yeah. Yep.
So
agreed.
Yeah.
It's cool. They're both good, though. I mean, I don't think you can really go wrong with either one. They're both good. Neither of them are his best work, but
no,
they're both good.
Yeah. All right, moving it along. We've got an Ivan Sharvin, 1 in 25 for the all new Venom number 8. All right, Mike. What are your thoughts?
So, I can't unsee that this is like a ripoff of the beautiful Stephanie Hans cover from about 5, 6, 7 years ago. Somebody tell me which one that was. Gorgeous cover. And this is just sort of like kind of like a not great version of that. This is not a bad cover. It's really not. And I shouldn't have started that way, because the cover itself is good and it's stylized. There's obviously sort of a more comic-y, a less realistic look going on here, which I don't mind. But yeah, I just like it. Nothing will ever this theme of a person inside the sort of the Venom kind of engulfing whomever it is. Nothing will ever outdo that Stephanie Hans book for me. So this one is just sort of okay. The art is unique, though. I will give that. This definitely sort of stands out as something a little bit new and different. I'm trying to tell if I think that's really painted or if that's done digitally. It looks like it's really painted to me, which I dig. And the face is sort of unique, and so it's a good cover. I mean, and it feels kind of like an incentive. I can see people liking this one. But to me, it's sort of inferior to something that's been done better once before. And so I can't really love it as a result of that. But that's maybe just my own personal bias. It's a good cover, though. And it's unique.
JD asked if is this similar homage to the Exquisite Corpses with the bunny head?
Maybe, but I think it's supposed to be that. Let me see if I can find out which Hans that is. I loved that
by
cover so
Alex
much.
Ekman Lawn.
Alex Ekman Lawn's really good. Stephanie Hans, Venom.
Freaking Chad, dude. He's on a run. Terry, what's going on? Thank you for joining. And then I know I missed somebody. Oh, Smokey Collects.
Oh, there it is. X-Men Blue. X-Men Blue number 21.
This one, was it 1 in 50?
1 in 50. Yeah. Man. So good. X-Men Blue 21, 1 in 50. Yeah, good job, Still Chilling. That's the one. God, I love that cover. It's a gorgeous cover. It was really hot for about a week, and then it died. And I could never figure out why. It's still a gorgeous cover. Now it's expensive again. But it wasn't there for a while.
For me, I don't think there's anything wrong with the art. I think that's what you said too. Yeah, this definitely doesn't look like it's digital, or he's definitely looked like he painted this one, right? So
it looks like it looks painted to me.
Yeah, I have nothing bad to say about it. It's okay. I don't know if I think it's a 1 in 25, so that's probably why I would I would probably pass on it because I'd rather this just be an A or B cover,
Mhm.
but that's perfectly fine. Yeah, I don't want to say anything bad about it.
I don't think there's really anything to say that's bad about it. I don't even
Yeah.
know. It's possible Irvin Sharvin looks pretty young. It's possible he doesn't even know there was a Stephanie Hans cover that did this already. But, you know. who knows?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, this is not a far-fetched idea for any artist. this layout and concept. So, all right, and then on to the Amazing Spider-Man number 7, 1 in 25 by Simone Bianchi. Simone Bianchi. Did I say it right? Yeah.
I have no idea. I'm going to go with yes.
This is painted for sure.
Yeah. Looks like watercolor.
Yeah. It kind of looks like there's watercolor in it, right?
Yeah.
The background, I wish I knew who that character was. I can't really make it out. It kind of looks like the Goblin.
Yeah, it's just eyes. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. That I wish I could have, unless on purpose, like it's a new character or something, or it's about the storyline. That would make more sense. That like he didn't make it so I can tell exactly who it is. It's just an ominous baddie in the background. I don't think there's. For some reason, the left arm looks a little longer than it I mean, yeah, the right arm is a little longer than it is, but I think that's just the perception because he's at an angle. But I there's something wrong with his face. The mask, like it's crumpled up or something. It feels like it's like oversized.
The eyes are reversed.
Oh, there you go.
There's too much.
It looks
black.
like Deadpool.
Way too much black. Deadpool. Too much black. This is the second week in a row we've said that. We had a cover last week that was like that too. What's with all the? Is that just the way? Is this like a Marvel change?
I don't know. That's a very good question.
If that's a Marvel change, what a dumb idea.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I mean
that's off-putting to me. But I have a feeling that now that's 2 covers in 2 weeks. I have a feeling that might be a Marvel thing.
Yeah, that might actually be like something that's out of control of the artist. That's just the way Marvel wants it done now.
Yep, could be.
Or at least just for this book. I don't know. If anybody knows.
If anyone's actually reading the book, is he drawn like this inside? I haven't read Spider-Man in 40 years.
Now, I'm not upset about his art, though. It's just, again, the eyes are throwing me off. And that's about it. It looks like there's a really bright light for that's supposed to be like the focus here, because it's really dark down here on his legs. Actually, now his right leg looks a little broken too. So I'm over picking on this guy. I don't want to. Damn it! I'm gonna ruin his day. Yeah, this is. I think I'm gonna pass on this. Yeah, not my favorite Spidey. How about you, Mike?
Yeah, no, I mean, I have a problem with the design of it just because of the eyes. And yeah, that lighting's a little strange. I wish I knew what that light source was supposed to be on his arm. If that were in the image and I could tell there was a reason for that light source, then I could maybe buy it, but it's hard to buy. I will say this, though. I like Simone Bianchi's work. Mm-hmm. I think this is a good, solid piece of art. If you brought a blank to him at a con, and maybe I'm just in con sketch mode right now, but if you got this back as a commission, you would pass out. It's so good for that. But that's what it feels like to me. It feels like a really, really good convention commission. It doesn't necessarily feel like a finished piece of cover art to me, because there are some oddities in it that just seem like, oh, I didn't have a chance to fix those, but we'll go with it anyway, like the broken leg and the weird eyes and the unidentifiable villain in the back and stuff like that. But it's a good cover. Spidey fans will probably want it. 1 in 25 is a nice low incentive. Probably won't go for that. Probably go for more like 20 or 15. But yeah, it's just good, not great. And I think the not great part isn't Bianchi's fault. I think it's a design
Maybe a
strangeness.
design flaw, yeah.
Yeah, or if it is his choice, then I like it even less. But I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt because I think he's a great artist, and assume that Marvel wants Spidey drawn this way. It makes him look a little more evil, like a little serious, a little less silly than old Spidey. I guess I don't know. What the hell do I know? I'm not really a huge Spidey fan. I know I'm gonna get struck down by lightning for saying that, but I don't know. I don't know. It's not my thing, but still,
Yeah,
it's not my thing. Spidey's fun, but I don't feel the need to buy
the
everything.
way he's turned, it just his chest looks a little bubbly, and then his back is too muscular.
Yeah.
So it makes it I don't know, it's like a trick on the eyes where it's just like he's a little too thick, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I'm putting it nicely here.
And that right leg is weird. It's like in the wrong spot, or it's bent wrong, or there's no butt on that side, or something's weird about that leg. I'm not sure exactly what it is.
And doesn't help about the shadow and the lighting,
right?
Because that makes it more
Pronounced.
emphasis on that. Yeah, pronounced. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. All right, sorry, Simone. We'll have to catch you on the next one.
Simone Bianchi. I'm assuming Italiano.
Well, got one of my favorite artists as well. X-Men Hellfire Vigil #1, a 1 in 50 by Rose Besh. Did I go first last time? Yes. Mike, please.
Rose Besh, not one of my favorite artists, as we all know. Although I guess as far as Rose goes, this is one of her better, more cohesive pieces. I at least know what the fuck is going on this cover. So that's a start. There's some cool elements. I like the diamonds sort of all over the place. Those are done really well. It obviously has a very strong anime vibe to it with some sort of street art elements going on in it. So I get that people like her style, Jeff. I get why you like it. It's interesting. It's unique. It stands out as her. It can't be anybody else. But I feel like it's just I don't know. First of all, it's too anime for me, so I don't like it for that. There is a weird sort of manic feel to her art that, in her case, I don't like. With other people like Ashley Wood or Bill Sienkiewicz or some of those people, I really do like it when they or Martin Simmons, or there's a lot of others that do sort of this manic impressionistic kind of thing that I really do like. Or early Scotty Young, by the way, which I still love to this day. So that style I like, but when it comes to this and mixed with the anime, it just doesn't do anything for me. This feels like, honestly, this feels a little bit like a store exclusive to me. It feels a little bit more like that and less of an incentive. But I can see this being hot because it's her. Is that supposed to be? Who is that supposed to be?
I'm thinking it's Emma.
Emma Frost, right? Is it supposed to?
It has to be, right?
But why is she 10 years old?
Well, that's the whole anime thing.
I know. So that bothers me too. It's just, I don't know. It's got, I don't know. It's got a lot of things wrong with it for me that just don't fall into my comic buying category. I guess if you're a manga person or if you're an anime guy or girl, this could do it for you, but she's too young. It's too anime. There's some weird choices. I don't know. But like I said, it is one of her more cohesive pieces in a really long time. It doesn't look like just a big mess with the strange angles and like parts of bodies like off on the side and weird shit like that. I really wish she would just get back to what she started with. I know I say it every time her covers come up, but that silk cover, the sneakers cover, so damn good. Like I really like that cover. And
her street art stuff is really good.
I really, really wish she would go back to doing more of that stuff. I think she's really talented at that. And she still would be she still would be pretty unique if she did that. No one else is really doing that. Every once in a while, Raza does kind of like a street artist kind of looking thing, but for the most part, she'd be the only one. I don't know. This just sort of blends too much in with Peach Momoko's work and some of the other people doing stuff like this. She should, I don't know. Whatever. You know what? She's making money. People like her stuff. You like her stuff. This book's going to go crazy. I'm sure it'll be worth more than $50 at the end of the week. So I don't know. Just not for me.
Yeah. Look, I'm not going to say Rose Besh. Just because she's one of my favorite artists doesn't mean I don't see her flaws in her covers. For the most part, I would even say it's 50-50 for me when I see Rose Besh covers. It really is. But when she's on, I mean, I really dig her art. Case in point, what you mentioned is the silk cover. I mean, once when I got back into it when the pandemic happened, I mean, that's one of my favorite incentive covers that I've purchased during that time. Like seriously,
Yep.
just and the color choices and all of that stuff that really helps too. But her art is it can say something. It's just not. She's not. It feels like she doesn't necessarily care every single time, or she's rushing through it, or it's too cute, or you know what I'm saying? Like there's
Yep.
a little too much on one side and not enough balance.
Yeah.
And for this one, look, I know people are talking about the fingers. Whatever. She's a mutant. She can do whatever the hell she wants with the fingers.
That's true.
But I get it. It does look odd. It looks like she's like contorting and has broken fingers, and yeah, it's just it is odd. The rest of it though, I kind of dig. It's I don't, but again, I don't know if I need if that trade dress is the way it looks. The everything around it, around the art, kind of blends in, so I'm not upset about it.
Agreed.
So I probably would never get the 1 in 50. I'd have to really love the cover in order to go after incentive that's a virgin, right? So,
yep.
I'm good with just getting the trade dress. I think this is one of her better covers in a while.
Agreed.
But again, it's not for everyone. I understand. It has to do with me loving cartoons and anime more so than anything. So yeah, I think this is a winner, but I think you're right. It's going to be a $50 plus book by the midweek end of week. So yep. We'll find out. We'll see if this reaches the top 10 just because of its being Rose Besh. So
I think it might.
Yeah, we'll see. And yeah, still chilling. Go look up that silk one for sure. Heck, those fingers. And what do you think of that one? Oh yeah. Let's see. Passing on this one, yeah. Jay, collect what you like. All right, now we've got a X-Men number 19, a 1 in 50 by Godtail. Wow. I've never heard of Godtail before this year. So I kind of dig his art. Now, I don't know if this is digital. I don't think it is.
I think it is.
You think it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of. Yeah, I guess it fits for this character though.
I love Warlock. He's awesome.
Yeah. I like the way he portrayed him. I'm okay with this art even if it's digital, I guess, because it doesn't feel overly digital. Like when you can tell, right away, and it just has those layers that you just go, oh, these highs details and stuff. So I'm actually like the cover, but again, I'm probably going with the trade dress. It does get in the way of the hair of Warlock, but that's okay. How about you, Mike?
Yeah, first of all, I'm with the chat. I love this character, and we don't get nearly enough covers of this character. Not since the old Bill Sienkiewicz days have we. That's twice now I've mentioned him today. Mm-hmm. My man crush, Bill, who, by the way, sent me a handwritten letter once with a Warlock sketch in it, which was really pretty awesome. But I'm sort of a sucker for this cover just because I love the character, and we don't see him on covers very often. I don't know that I care that it's colored digitally. I guess he does pencils for real and then scans that in and does colors digitally, which a lot of artists do. I know Jenny Frisson does that.
Which is fine, but you got to know how to use the digital inks and colors.
Right. I agree. He's got so much black on him that I guess we could just sort of pawn that off as lots of ink, but there's like this weird shine to him and maybe too much lightning. And overall, it's not an amazing cover. It's also a bit of a departure for Godtail. Doesn't he usually draw like hot women?
Right.
So this is kind of a cool departure for him. So I'd be cool to maybe pick up the regular one. Certainly don't want it as a 1 in 50 or really any incentive, to be honest with you.
Yeah. It's good art, just not overspending this week.
Well, certainly not on this kind of stuff anyway. It's got to blow me away to spend $50 or more on something.
Exactly. All right. Next book. Wow. Okay.
What's happening?
I got kind of confused. I was like, is that really okay? Captain America #1, a 1 in 100 Virgin by Frank Miller. Okay. Mike.
Oh my God. Looks like he's in a bowl of popcorn. Or like swimming in an icy. Like what's happening? It's supposed to be glass. What is that?
That's glass.
I don't know what it is.
It looks like he jumped through foam or ice, like snow.
I don't know. Oh, Frank. Why? Whoever is letting this happen to you. If it's you, shame on you. If it's a handler, shame on them. If it's Marvel, shame on them. It's better than a lot of the other ones they've been putting out. I'll give it that. There's at least some dynamics to it. Something's happening.
Yeah, but as much as we killed them on those covers, that's not saying much.
I know. Because, if this were by anybody else, we'd be hammering this. Oh. If it didn't have his name attached to it, we'd have the vomit emoji. We'd be destroying this cover. It's just not good.
Tiny Cap unclogging the hot tub jets. He Ant-Man himself.
Nice.
Snow angels on a peep show floor.
There's a 1 in 100. That's such a clear money grab. Like,
doesn't matter what it is. It's bad overlay over mediocre art. Yeah.
And also, it shouldn't even be. There's way too much space up there. It's obviously meant for trade dress. As a Virgin, this actually is even more inferior. So if you like Frank Miller and you're a completist for Frank Miller and you have to have one, why would you want the Virgin one? It looks even worse that way. There's just all this extra popcorn on the.
He's falling into Hulk's bad skin day. Get some moisturizer, Bruce.
I don't want to hammer a legend. I hate doing it. It makes me feel bad about life. So I really don't want to hammer away at him. I just feel bad that he's being used like this for these covers. I don't know if this is old existing art that shouldn't have been used in the first place, is now getting used now, or if he's drawing these now. I don't really know. But either way, stop dragging poor Frank to the bank. It's kind of despicable.
I'm definitely going to put most of the blame on Marvel.
Yeah.
You get to choose what the cover is. Even if you ask for Frank Miller to do a cover, you can still reject the art and have him redo it or pick another artist.
Look, I just told you that Adam Hughes had 2 covers rejected from Marvel. So even somebody like Hughes gets rejected. And I would put him in legend status these days.
Yes, they for sure, JD. Like, okay, so when I first looked at this, #1, like you said, is that glass? Is that snow? Is that ice? Is that foam? I don't, and it looks terrible the way it's broken up. It just looks like someone like confettied it and just threw it up in the air.
Yeah.
It's a terrible pattern. If he was breaking through it, it makes absolutely no sense. And then second, like the bottom half of Cap looks like it's from The Dark Knight, that blocky, stocky kind of feel. Yep. But then his face and head looks just off. Like it doesn't fit the same way as if he was wearing like a bat suit. So yeah, and what the hell happened to his shield? Like, did it get bigger or like Is it shaped weird? I'm like, it's throwing me off. Like, I don't mind his blocky kind of like drawing of characters, but the rest of it just doesn't make sense as an overall visual. Like it you think he's breaking through something. It looks like it also looks like he's just lying in the snow, like a broken, like
broken man in the snow.
Yeah, it's really weird looking. And definitely, actually, I'm gonna say it. I think it looks better with the trade dress, and it might be because just the art is not good.
I agree. Well, there's all that extra space up there. Like I said, it's meant for trade dress.
Yeah, and the 1/100. You guys know my take on 1/100 Virgins by really good, great, well-known artists. It's just like Mike said, it's just a money grab. So I'm over that. If you want the book, just get the trade dress. Because you vote with your dollars, right? You don't want to see this stuff, don't buy it.
Yep. Go back and buy his Daredevil covers. Seriously, guys.
Yeah.
Like, that's when he was genius.
Those are great. I've collected a lot of those.
I've had them all twice, sold them, had them, sold them again. I mean, I love them. Every time I see one of the good ones, I have to buy it. So it's not an I hate Frank Miller thing. I love him. He's Daredevil is one of my favorite books of all time. And he did one of the best story arcs of all time. In any comic. Forget about Daredevil, just in any comic. Period.
Yeah. The Dark Knight, that was when I was growing up, I'm pretty sure I was in 7th grade when that book came out. It might have been a year earlier. But that was the talk in our classroom, was the Dark Knight. That Frank Miller cover, the art.
Yeah, man.
All of it. So, yeah, I mean, definitely he's had his heyday, and I think those, unfortunately, are behind him.
Time to hang him up, buddy. And it's okay. You did us all proud. You don't need to keep going.
Yeah, if you I know he loves like horror movies and stuff like that. He can start getting into that again. I don't know. But all right, we got another X-Men Hellfire Vigil #1, a 1/100 by Aka. I've never heard of Aka.
AKA, maybe?
Oh, maybe.
As in also known as nothing?
Maybe that's the name that they picked. Yeah, their pseudonym. All right. Sir?
I don't mind it. It's pretty overall. I mean, it's a really nice composition. I don't know that it reads as like Hellfire Club book to me necessarily, or again as is it Emma? Is it supposed to be Madeline Pryor? Who's it supposed to be? Like, again, if I can't recognize who it's supposed to be, then it's just a piece of art that someone kind of used that sort of looks like a character and it doesn't look like it was done for the book. But again, you know, I realize that this whole Hellfire Gala thing, they all wear this crazy clothes that they don't normally wear. And so maybe this is, I don't know, looks like, I don't know. It doesn't read as anything X-Men to me with no trade dress on it. I would never know. So while it's a pretty cover, it does look like Phoebe from Friends. You're right. It really does. So while this is a kind of a beautiful piece of art, it just doesn't work for this book because I have no idea who that's even supposed to be. Yeah, I mean, Emma Frost is my guess, but really?
Well, we're only guessing that because she's like one of the most recognizable blondes in all of Marvel Comics.
It often wears white, but she doesn't wear black. So,
right.
And I guess that's part of the Hellfire Gala thing. She's wearing a gown that has black in it. But see, I shouldn't be asking these questions. I should just know who that is. I'm a pretty big X-Men fan.
Does she have a Band-Aid on her left breast?
I just shouldn't have questions about who the character is as an X-Men fan who's read pretty much everything classic X-Men all the way up until like 5 years ago. I shouldn't have a question about who this is. So
yeah,
while it is a beautiful piece of art in its own right, it does not read as an X-Men book to me.
When you said that, okay, so he said, look at her hand, there's her power. Her ice power.
Yeah, okay. I guess you're right.
But again, it's so blended in with the rest, with the flower. Oh, the flower too. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, she's icing the flower. Yeah.
But she's Wait, I didn't know she could ice the flower.
or turn it into
Glass
gem,
diamond,
a
right? It's
glass.
supposed to be diamond, right?
Right.
Okay, so I when you mentioned this, Mike, I kind of like it kind of blew my mind. I was like, oh yeah, this looks like a piece of art that she or he might have drawn previously, but
For
it
something
wasn't
else.
for X-Men. It wasn't meant to be a mutant. It
Right.
was just a cover or
Right.
just art. And then they go, oh well, you know what? Emma Frost is blonde, and I'll just add that little all they had to do is just draw over and paint over the hand, the arm, right,
Yep.
and the flower.
That's it.
Now you got powers. Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that, where it's like I would have never known that's Emma again, because like you said, she doesn't wear anything but like white pretty much. I get, yeah, these Hellfire things are like the gala stuff and all the crazy outfits, but yeah, it didn't fit for me. I wouldn't have noticed. Just get the trade dress, I guess.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, super blended in. Her powers should stand out. Yeah, diamonds definitely, right?
Yeah, it's diamonds. I flubbed on that.
Yeah, well, I mean, but I didn't know she can project like make other objects diamonds. I didn't know that.
She's done it. Hasn't she done it in the movies? Which is the movie that she's in? Which one is that?
It's First Class.
First Class, yeah. Doesn't she do that in the movie?
No, I don't think she did. That's the thing. I don't remember her doing that. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I didn't know she could do that. All right. Then we got another Captain. Good God.
Ooh.
Okay, Captain America #1. It's by Pablo Villalobos, one of our favorite artists here. It's a 1 in 200 Virgin cover. I'll let you go last on this one, Mike.
200. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's why I said holy crap.
Sorry, go.
Okay, so #1, I like the art.
Yeah.
Great. It's nice to see him draw men and do it well. He does draw a lot of women.
That's an understatement.
It's like 99%. Okay, I might have understated it. I think my only issue with this is his right arm. It looks a little short from his shoulder to his elbow, but that could be just the angle.
He's jumping out of a plane, right?
Yeah. So yeah, maybe it's just the angle and what's going on there. But I do like all the details. I like the boots. I like the wrinkles and everything. Just his style as well. And then the background, not so great detail, but this looks like he's jumping into Europe. Like that's the way Europe would look like back then, like all divided by farmlands, and you can tell the difference and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean that looks awesome. I kind of dig it with the trade dress, and they put the trade dress behind him. I kind of dig that too. So yeah, I mean obviously if you're a Villalobos fan, you would probably want the Virgin, but I am absolutely fine with the trade dress on this one. And it goes with obviously he's jumping out of a plane in World War II, and so that trade dress kind of just goes with it. All right, Mike, what do you think?
I love the art. I really do. I think it's really cool. I don't remember ever seeing this image of him like diving out of a plane. It's just so calm about it. Just like it's what soldiers do, man. I could do this all day. Just got that cool face on. Lobos does a great job on this. I think it's definitely his style. / Hughes style. If someone told me this was a Hughes, I would believe you.
Thanks,
that's not a knock. It's not. I know he's heavily influenced by Hughes, so I get it. I don't really have criticisms of this. I actually really like this cover. 1 in 200 is the only criticism I have. That's fucking bonkers to try to do that to people. And I don't even know that I like it more without the trade dress anyway. I kind of like the trade dress since they put him over the top of the words. It works just fine for me. It feels more like a comic book, and I like the Captain America trade dress. That's the one they haven't screwed around with. They've left it
JD
alone.
says the fucking 1 in 200 is $300.
Why?
I mean, look, I love his art, but damn.
That's insane. It's insane to have this be 1 in 200. I'm perfectly fine with the trade dress version. I really like the art. I love Lobos. I wish that he would continue to differentiate himself a little bit more from Hughes. That's my only criticism of it in general. But otherwise, there's nothing wrong with this. I mean, it's great ink work, great face, great. I think the foreshortening is done correctly. It looks right to me. I don't see a problem with that arm, but
I think I was just looking at it wrong because I didn't realize that he was actually falling out of the plane, and I go, oh, okay, well the angle is going to be different.
Yeah, and I think that's why, and I think he got it right actually. So if he were just standing, then there'd be other issues, right? Because then his head would be a little too small and some other things. But I think with him sort of leaning back out of the plane, I think it's right. So that would maybe be the only criticism is if you can't tell that that's what's happening on this cover, then you think it's wrong. And that may be a problem, but otherwise, since I instantly got what was going on, and I think that's why he puts the framing of the airplane up on the top there, just to try to tell you that that's what's going on. And that obviously the land is really far away. But I mean, if those are not things in your focus, then you might miss that. One might miss that. So I think it's cool. I think it's a cool concept. I think it's done really well. The art's great. I'm perfectly fine with the trade dress version for $5.
Yeah, definitely. Instead of 300. Chad says he jumped out of planes for 7 years in the Army. This is not.
Are you Captain America, Chad? Are you Captain America?
Sir, all the people who jumped out of the planes during those 7 years did not have the super soldier serum. Okay.
Right.
I think he can just fall straight to the ground, hit the ground, and he'd be fine.
Superhero landing.
Yeah.
No, I get it. If that's not accurate, that might piss some people off.
Yeah, I get it. But hey, it's Captain America. We give him some leeway here. All right. Well, we both agree that we like that one. Thank goodness we ended the incentives on a good note. So now we're going to move on to the store exclusives. And we're going to start with Andrew Tarosov. This is a Bird City. Wow. This is we haven't had a Bird City comic book in a while. Betty J and Veronica's Summer Fun in the Sun. We're definitely starting with you, Mike.
I like this one. I know it's funny. It didn't read at first to me. Like I saw it really quick. I didn't read Veronica's shirt. Like I didn't even think about any of that. I just looked at it. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I like it. It's sort of fun and playful. And I didn't realize it was Archie is what I mean. I thought it could have been a bunch of other things. Shit. Chad, you're right. That's all. Yeah. You're not cleared for that information, Jeff.
You're right. I don't have the clearance for that. Yeah, you're right. My bad, Chad.
Yeah, it's above your clearance. I like this cover a lot.
Damn, it's sold out?
Is it really?
No, that's what Terry's saying.
I think it deserves to be. It's obviously sexy. It's cute.
Wendy Peppercorn.
It's got the Wendy Peppercorn. Nice. That's
one of my favorite movies. Yes.
Sandlot. It's got all the things that all the good girl old school Archie covers had, but in a sort of modern way. I think it ticks the boxes. It's a great price for a really low limitation for a really cute sort of sexy book, drawn really well by someone I am not familiar with, Andrew Tarasov. Are you?
No, I have never heard of this person.
Man, I'll tell you, Laura and Ant have a great eye for finding artists that people don't usually use, and this is a great example of that. Right. I'm sort of sad that it's sold out. I did not get one. I'm kind of pissed. I'd like to have one now, but darn it all. This is good. This is good and worth. I think it's worth $20. To me, it's worth $20. It's too bad there's not a. Well, I guess there sort of is trade dress. It's on Veronica's shirt, right?
Well, thanks, James. Yeah, Andrew getting overshadowed by the Sveta Shubina covers.
Oh, so there are Andrew Tarasov covers for Pin Apocalypse? Is that what you're suggesting? I'm not sure. Yeah, he's the other artist on the Pit Apocalypse main covers. Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense. Okay, I didn't know that. I wasn't looking at anything other than the Sveta covers for that, which, like you said, obviously she's overshadowing him. But these are good. This is good. I like this, and I'm pissed that I missed it.
Well, he does the interiors too.
Wow. Okay.
That's no wonder we probably never really heard him, because he probably does more interior than covers.
Maybe. I like it. I think this is really good. Like I said, I'm kind of mad that I missed it. I would have wanted one of these. Laura, if you're listening, I'll take a damage.
I'm a sucker for cheesecake. Yeah, aren't we all?
Yeah.
Archie is.
Oh,
freaking wow. Adam.
Okay. Damn.
That title is difficult to spell. Yeah, for sure. Andrew and Sveta have a joint collab 1 in 10 connecting covers for Pinup Apocalypse. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm with you. I dig this art. I'm all about like these throwback homages, kind of like to old school style. It feels like it's a mix of like a new age version of that, not necessarily like exactly those old pinup covers, but yeah. And then it I don't know if it's just me, but it's got that Adam Hughes feel a little bit.
It does.
So and after seeing the Villalobos, I mean we're kind of feel like we're putting together like these same kind of artists together on here. And yeah, and simple is perfect. This is not too crazy, not out there. It's simple, so I can dig it.
I love that. I'm happy. I'm happy and proud that I helped Bird City pop their Archie cherry back a couple of years ago with their first Archie exclusive.
I'm pretty sure I have that around here somewhere.
The art commission from Dan Parent. He did a great one for me, and then we did it.
That was a great cover, a great homage.
It's one of my favorite covers of all time, but I like Veronica better than Betty, so I always wanted that cover to be Veronica and not Betty. So I had Dan Parent draw that cover with Veronica instead of Betty. And then
actually, I have 2 of those covers.
Did you got 2 of them?
I think I got 2.
Nice. I think I still have 5 left.
Nice.
They gave me a little batch, and we sent Dan a batch of those, but. Yeah, I mean, I like that they're leaning into the Archie and a little bit more in their style. This is more Bird City, this is their own creation. I love it. I think it's great. I'm like I said, I'm pissed I missed it.
Yeah, I'm kind of upset that I didn't even know this was a thing.
Yeah, it popped up in my feed and I totally
sold out,
vegged on it. Damn.
I'm sometimes I just get too busy at work. I don't even care to look at my damn phone. I miss so much stuff. It's ridiculous, and sometimes I get FOMO and sometimes I don't. This one I have a little FOMO.
I do too. So, Laura, like I said, if you're listening, I'll take a damage if any of them come in damaged.
Yeah, amen. Second that, please. Oh man,
I don't care about resale. I just want one.
Yeah, it's
let me know
double-edged
on Whatnot or eBay Live.
It's a little double-edged sword here. Like the limitation, great for like wanting to have like a small print run but when it's good art,
you want there to be so many more of them.
God, yeah, I just want a chance to get it when I freaking missed out,
I know. I'm there with you. Hey, but that's the nature of the beast, man.
Yep. You can't have them all.
No.
Can't have them all. Yeah.
I screwed up. I'll have to overpay now.
But good job, Laura and Ant. This one I really dig. Yeah. All right. We're gonna move on to Something is Killing the Children, number 43 by Marco Mastrazo. This is a 616, limited to 500. Don't know how much the cost is, but okay. I think I'll go first. That is one buff woman. But I kind of dig the fact that she's a little buff after killing monsters for 43 freaking issues.
Yeah.
I would think she's a little bit buffer. I like the blood, going down the arm. Going down the shirt, like she's definitely been in it. I I don't know. I like the perspective, but I don't necessarily know if I like the details of the mouth, that like the teeth.
That's the scarf thing that she wears.
No. On
You don't think
is
that's
that
right? Yeah.
It feels like it's like the point of view is from the monster's mouth.
Oh, that mouth. Sorry, I thought you
Yeah.
meant the one that's on her scarf.
No. That's perfectly fine. Actually, that looks really cool. It looks more like a skull, crossbones kind of thing, but it looks like just like a torn up shirt. Like they don't look like scary teeth. It doesn't look like a scary monster kind of thing. Like that would be my only issue. The rest of it's perfectly fine. I like it. Looks like he uses the oil based
Yeah, oil paint.
Yeah.
Is your brain broken?
Yeah, my brain's kind of broken right now. But yeah, I dig that. Like I like he put the details where you can catch it. I like it. But the point of view obviously is it's going to be a little more I guess skewed. But yeah, I think my only issue is just the teeth of the monster. That's it. But it's not bad. I dig this for something that's killing the children, because this feels a little different. I like the art style that he went with here. How about you, Mike?
Yeah, I do too. I love Mastrozo's work. I think he's one of the geniuses of the last decade that we don't get to see enough of, and or don't talk about enough when he does do a cover.
It's $30.
It's $30 is a little pricey. 500 print run. I get that's small, but still that's a lot. I mean, I just think he's a masterful painter. I think he's got a great dark take on this book. He did another store exclusive for this book. I want to say like a year ago. It was unbelievable. We were all oohing, ahhing about it for the same reasons. Just a good melding of this art style with this book. I think it's perfect. You're right. I'm not sure I love the framing of the monster's mouth as the way we see this cover, but it's a cool idea, I guess. But that's not the part of the cover that's awesome. So it's really good. I think $30 is too much for anything like this, but I think this is a really powerful piece. Really, really, really good. I like that very few artists have chosen to overly sexify Erica. Is that her name?
Yes. Erica Slaughter.
Right. That they haven't overly sexified her. They've kept her sort of like small boobed and buff and tough and messy, and I like. She
looks very athletic, which she should be.
Yeah, she should be, and I think that's right. I think it's sort of like the Ripley effect from Alien, right? You don't want to be too sexy, or otherwise you're not believable. Or
Sarah Connors from Terminator 2. Actually, she does look like Sarah Connors.
Yeah, quite a bit, as a matter of fact. So yeah, I really like it. I think it's an excellent cover. I have a tough time spending more than $20 on anything like this, but that's just me being a cheapskate.
I would wish it was $20, but I would be okay that it was $25. I think 30 is too much, so I'm with you. And I know we're talking about $5, but you're getting one book. Okay.
Plus there's shipping and let's not tax. So you're gonna pay $40 to get this in your hands.
Yeah. Rhea Ripley. Which sort of this did this? Oh, it's 616 Adam.
616 Comics.
Yeah. So I mean, like, and I'm giving this more praise just because we kill a lot of store exclusive covers. They're usually all the same, or they're not worthy of the prices that they are. So yeah, this is great art. All right, we're done. We ended on a good freaking note. Thank you, Alonzo. All right, Mike. Well, of course, you do these cover fire articles for CBSI. Can you tell the folks about it, please? And is there going to be one this week?
Yes, it'll be a short one this week. So last week I wrote it like it was ready to go, and I had all kinds of computer problems and could not get it to post. It was either CBSI's website on the back end that was having an issue, or it was my computer that was having an issue. I was really pissed because I spent like 2 or 3 hours writing
Thanks,
it, and I
Chad.
could never publish it. So there was an article last week, and I finished it. It was Stray Dogs, the Art Germ Wonder Woman, and shit, I forget what the third cover was. Those were the 3 covers that I chose and wrote up last week, and then I never got to do it. So yes, this week there'll be a short one. It will exist. I have not chosen the covers yet. I'm going in to do that as soon as we're done here. It drops tomorrow, late morning, early afternoon, depending on your time zone. Over on CBSI, that's comicbookinvest.com. It is my take on the best regularly priced comics for the week from a cover art perspective that are not incentives, not store exclusives, just regular $4, $5, $6 books that I think you should maybe use your money more wisely on. I don't know. I'm not against incentives, and I buy them from time to time, but I have to really be blown away by them. I'd much rather buy $4, $5, $6 comics that make me just as happy. So that's why I write the article, because I put my money where my mouth is.
Yes, he's going to make you spend some money, but good thing it's going to be a lot cheaper than getting these incentive covers.
Every once in a while, there's like a pricey week where there's maybe 5, 6 good covers that, might set you back $30 or $40. But for the most part, I'm not going to make you much lighter than $10 or $15 in any one week.
Adam. You should post last week's too.
See, I can't. So Mike, I can't do that. The way that the site works is every time I post one, it erases the other one and goes to the archive. So, like if I publish them both, then one of them will never get read anyway. So you might read it, and so there's that. But I just told you what I chose anyway. Who cares what I have to say about them? Those were just the covers. It was the Stray Dogs homage, the Nosferatu homage, which was the B cover, I think. And then it was the Art Germ Wonder Woman. Those were the top 2. I'm trying to remember what I chose as the third one.
Was it Trish's?
Trish's. Did I say Stray Dogs? I meant Feral. What the hell am I talking about?
Okay.
Yikes. Sorry. Freudian slip. I'm back 10 years ago. I meant Feral. Sorry. So the Feral Nosferatu homage was the winner. The Art Germ Wonder Woman was the number 2. And the third one was, I did not choose Trish's regular A cover, although I love that cover. I really love that cover. It's the one that I'm going to buy because I really like it. But, man, I can't for the life of me. What the hell was it? While you're doing the other stuff, I'll look and I'll see what the third cover was. Let's see.
All right. Well, let's get back to us here. I'm going to give a shout out to our sponsors once again. Of course, if you want to get 30 days of unlimited cover price for only 99 cents, you just got to type in the code Nerdvana14. And if you go to Bird City Comics, obviously it's already sold out. But if you had a chance to get that book, you could have typed in the code TNH10 and you would have got 10% off your purchase. So keep that in mind. I want to thank the chat for dropping in. We really appreciate you guys. We really appreciate all your opinions, all the funny comments, everything. Appreciate you guys tuning in every week. So yeah, love you guys. Yeah, great show, guys. Thank you so much.
It was Vision Scarlet Witch. It was a Villa Lobos.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was the third one.
That's right. Oh, Reef, the Sea Forever. Sorry, you just got here. You can catch us on the rewind. Yeah, we're at the end here. Yeah, no worries. You can always catch a rewind. Of course, and that's it. Sir, can you please let them know what we've done to the artists today?
Some artists were briefly harmed in the making of this podcast, but not permanently.
You know what? They better have thick skin working in this business.
They do. Like I said, Jenny was super kind to me for bad mouthing a couple covers this year. So I think they get it. They know. They know that they don't strike gold every single time they put a pencil to the paper. This
is what I love about comic book artists. For the majority of them, they're not narcissists. So they understand that they're not going to be perfect all year long. I mean, it's a long year. So, and they're just doing the best they can to make money, right? Because
some of them are very critical of some of them are very critical of their covers. Josh Middleton was like, I have no idea why I am famous for that stupid Batgirl cover. I did it in a weekend because they told me they needed something, and he thought they were going to reject that cover.
Wow. Really?
Yep.
Freaking love that cover.
I know everyone. I have 2 copies of it. I love that cover. I have 9/8 and a raw. I think it's great, and it was where his style changed, and he knew that, but he just he thought it was too simple. There was nothing in the background. They weren't going to like it. They were going to reject it, and because they were on a tight deadline, and so was he, they accepted it, and it became his most popular cover, or one of them. Anyway.
Well, you know what? It's a good thing it happened, even with his own thoughts about it.
Yep.
It helped project him up,
So, but it does show that they don't like their own covers sometimes. Probably more times than us. I bet you a lot of them are a hell of a lot more critical of their own work than we are.
Absolutely.
I know Trish is.
Yeah. If you ever talk to any of these artists, they're way more humble than you think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they definitely criticize themselves a lot harsher than
Very few of them are arrogant. Very few of them are arrogant. I've only met a couple that are.
If you know who those people are, you know who those people are.
Yeah. Yep.
But anyways, yeah. So any last words to say, sir?
If you want to do it right, buy what you like, be a cover whore for life.
Thanks, everyone. Let me get the closing.